Not every love story is meant to last forever. Some are destined to bloom in impossible places, beautiful, fleeting, unforgettable. Today, we explore the top 8 BL dramas where love was real, breathtaking, and heartbreakingly impossible. Get ready, because some of these stories are carved deep into the soul. A love that could have been, if only fear hadn't whispered louder than desire. Old-fashioned Cupcake explores the delicate love between Naju and Tagawa, two men trapped by age, expectation, and self-doubt. One of the most devastating scenes is when Naju, despite craving more, pulls away because he believes he's too old, too late, too much a burden. The soft lighting, the minimal dialogue, it feels like watching someone quietly break their own heart. Even as they share pastries and laughter, there's a constant unspoken grief. They know they could be happy if only life were simpler. A love as vast as the ocean, and just as full of danger. Jaewon and Jihyun find something immediate and profound in each other, but past trauma and internalized fear keep dragging them apart. Every surfing scene is charged with unspoken emotion, water becoming a metaphor for both connection and fear of drowning. Their love feels inevitable, but like the tides, it keeps pulling away just when it seems within reach. Their pain isn't about lack of love. It's about the world refusing to let them love freely. How do you love someone when your worlds are destined to clash? Tang Yi and Xiao Fei are from opposite sides, a mafia boss and a righteous cop. Despite their undeniable chemistry, the danger surrounding them makes every step closer a risk. One unforgettable moment is when Tang Yi reaches out, gentle, almost childlike, and Xiao Fei hesitates, torn between duty and heart. Their love simmers with intensity, but survival, loyalty, and blood debts make true happiness almost impossible. First love, as beautiful as it is fragile. Sun Bo-seong and Su Chi-jiang's tender journey captures the magic of falling in love and the ache of knowing the world might not allow it. Scenes where they steal quiet moments in stairwells or empty classrooms are filled with a desperate innocence. A need to make time stand still before the pressures of adulthood, family, and expectation crash down around them. Their love isn't wrong, but growing up makes it complicated, and that's the tragedy. When love isn't enough to fix the fractures inside ourselves. Kang Seo-joon and Han Ji-woo love each other, not with hesitation, but with a depth that feels absolute. And yet, that love alone isn't enough to erase the cracks they each carry inside. Their relationship isn't undone by betrayal or lack of feeling. It's undone by fear. By the quiet terror that love might demand pieces of themselves they're not ready to give. Ji-woo, haunted by past disappointments and the desperate need to preserve his identity, begins to push Seo-joon away. Not out of anger, but out of self-preservation. Watching him retreat is like witnessing a beautiful vase crack in slow motion. Delicate, devastating, inevitable. You can see the sorrow in Seo-joon's eyes, the silent pleading for a chance to stay. And you can feel Ji-woo's anguish at not knowing how to let him. Their scenes together are heavy with everything unsaid. Longing that trembles just under the surface, apologies hidden between breaths, confessions that never quite find their way into words. Every silence between them speaks louder than any argument could. It's a portrait of two people reaching for each other with everything they have, and still missing. This isn't a story where love triumphs easily. It's a story that reminds us that love, while powerful, isn't always the cure. Timing, healing, trust, these are just as vital. Sometimes the heart is ready, but the mind isn't. Sometimes two people can love deeply and still have to walk away to find the versions of themselves that can stay. It's painful, tender, and achingly real. A reminder that real love isn't just about holding on. Sometimes it's about learning when to let go, to heal separately, and to hope that someday, when the fractures have mended, there might be a second chance. A story about grief, morality, and the love we aren't allowed to name. Wang and In's relationship is a masterclass in restrained storytelling. Set in a home haunted by the past, their bond unfolds with painful inevitability. Their shared moments, reading together, exchanging glances across a room, are charged with longing and guilt. The drama never spells it out completely, because it doesn't need to. Their love exists in stolen seconds, in the grief-soaked spaces between words. It's a love that could heal, if only the world weren't so unforgiving. when love hurts, and yet you can't let go. Here is devotion to Kiwa borders on obsession, yet it's portrayed with raw vulnerability. Kiwa, equally broken and yearning, struggles to accept love when he doesn't know if he deserves it. Their love story is painful and jagged, not the kind wrapped in warmth, but in misunderstanding, worship, and fear. When Kiwa finally reaches out, it feels almost like a dream, because for so long their love seemed doomed to stay trapped inside lonely hearts. Love that transcends lifetimes and yet couldn't be saved. Korn and In Touch's story isn't just heartbreaking, it's haunting. It's the kind of love that feels destined, fated, and yet cruelly out of reach. They loved each other with a kind of desperation, a kind of purity, that should have been enough to defy everything. But the world they lived in, harsh, rigid, unforgiving, saw their love as something to punish, not to protect. No matter how fiercely they held on to each other, societal rejection and deep-rooted homophobia chipped away at their world until there was nothing left to stand on. Their end isn't born from a lack of love, but from a world too small, too afraid to let that love live. And in the end, they pay the price for society's hatred, not with anger, but with tragedy. Their deaths aren't just a loss, they're an echo of every love story silenced by fear. And yet, the story doesn't end there. Across time and lifetimes, their souls refuse to forget. Dean and Farm, the reincarnations of Korn and In Touch, find each other again in a quieter, more forgiving world. But even as they smile, even as they begin anew, the weight of their former lives clings to them. Memories bleed into dreams. Sorrow haunts happiness. The past is never truly past. The bittersweet beauty of their story lies in its brutal honesty. That love, no matter how pure, can be crushed by the wrong time, the wrong world. But it also suggests something softer, something braver. That love can still endure, even when it fails. That it can wait across years, across lifetimes, for another chance. It's a love story both tragic and transcendent. A reminder that even when the world breaks two souls apart, love might still find a way to stitch them back together. Love doesn't always come with a happy ending, but maybe that's what makes it even more powerful. The kind of love that burns brightly, even as it's slipping away. The kind of love you never forget. Backhand index pointing right, which beautiful but impossible love story stayed with you the longest? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more journeys through the most unforgettable BL love stories.